Grand evening, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, which we do the third Thursday of every month with this event we call the Grow Your Mind webinar. And this is exactly what it says. We're trying to grow your mind and hopefully during this journey, grow your appetite for fresh fruits and vegetables. But you're going to hear tonight from some amazing, inspiring individuals, humanitarians, givers, just people who pour into others. And that's what this inspiring, healthy living community is about. It's people coming together, collaborating their efforts to inspire healthy living literally around the world, globally in 26 countries. Just a phenomenal group to be a part of. So for the guests tonight, thank you so much. And for the people who invited guests, thank you for inviting them because we have to share. That's the only way we're going to make this community bigger and stronger is to continue to share what we do and how we live. So with no further ado, well, first, let me tell you who I am. My name is Troy Richardson. Okay, I'm a veteran. I own a health and wellness organization where I just spread healthy living throughout the veteran community and communities across the country. So this is what I do. This is who I am. But this is about these amazing, inspiring educators and urban farmers who are, again, just pouring so much of themselves into everyone they come into contact with. But we're going to start tonight out with this is my brother and my sister, mi hermano, mi hermana, okay? Anthony and Anna out of Augusta, Georgia. They're going to share their incredible community garden and they're going to share their stories and tell you how they're impacting the community and what they're doing to give hope and inspire others. So welcome, 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 Anthony and Anna. The floor is yours. You guys unmute yourselves.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Okay. Hi. Thank you for having us. First of all, it's like a super honor to be here with you guys tonight. And oh, hold on, this view keeps changing. Okay. I don't want to. Okay. And thank you for having us tonight. And I've been looking forward to this call all week, all day. And so first, I want to say who I am and what we're doing here while we be up in this call. And so my name is Ana Maria, and I'm a holistic nutritional counselor. And I've been so for the last 3 years. My journey, with the Juice Plus and the Tower Gardens here had really started back when after I graduated high school, I wanted to do something to help people. So I went into all like the medical assistant and into the medical field because I wanted to help. And I really wanted to be a doctor, but that's super expensive. So that didn't happen. Thank goodness it didn't, because I wouldn't have learned all this great nutrition that I have like I do now. And I worked in a dialysis center for 8 years, right? And different ones. And there I learned about what dialysis was and how it's really a product of our lifestyle and nutrition choices. All the people in there usually had diabetes and had blood pressure. And so I got to see and live with these people for learn about their conditions and their symptoms and what they're really going through and sharing in their suffering. I even it's really intimate, right? Because you work with people one-on-one and you get to know their lives and you get to see how they're taking like 15 bottles of medication. No lie, my patients would show up on their day that the doctors would review their meds with lunch boxes full of medication. And I was like, oh my goodness, like all the side effects that they're doing, and they start you on, one thing and then you end up with like 5, 10, 15 different prescriptions for these things, and they're just slowly killing them and killing us and
the workers
also.
Yeah, because you got to take care of them.
Yeah. And this is my wonderful husband, Anthony. He's super supportive and also happy to be here. And we've been together for like 15 years almost. So,
I
yeah,
just flew in from
I know we
Boston.
look super young. We are super young, but 15 years together. And so in the medical field, then it was really starting to wear on me in a personal and like spiritual level to see how they were suffering. And as I always stayed curious about nutrition and everything, I learned how the power of food and the power of nutrition and how you can reverse, how you can not cure, but reverse and prevent and reverse a lot of these diseases like diabetes, like high cholesterol, Alzheimer's, blindness from diabetes, like cancer, all of these things really, really comes down to our nutrition and our lifestyle choices. So in learning that, and then I saw how right at the end of when I was working here in Thompson, I had a patient who he was 35 years old, but he looked about 25 when he started, and I was there for 2 years. And in those 2 years, he came as soon, he walked in the door, this beautiful, young looking man, and he looked healthy, but slowly, or quickly, I should say, he went downhill so fast with, he got Bell palsy, so half of his face became numb. He was crying there with us because it's scary and it hurts and you don't know what's happening. He would pass out onto the floor from high sugar, his diabetes, or it was too low, or his pressure was too high. And he would also get uncontrollable diarrhea. And then, you see grown men crying. It really makes you appreciate everything that you have and how amazing your body is, and you just love everything. And his eyesight started getting kind of bad. He got glaucoma, started seeing blurry, and in those 2 years, then finally came the day when he came in to get his weight, and he looked at me and he said, "Anna, the doctor said I'm never going to be able to see again." And in that moment, I hugged him and I held him dear to my heart because I felt for him, and I don't even want to imagine what it would be like to not be able to see my loved ones and my husband every day, and the stars and the moon and like everything that's beautiful here. I cannot even imagine that. And I was so mad too, because I knew that if he would have had better information and better choices and better access to real food, right? Because we have these food deserts here by design, especially out in the poorer communities or in the Black and Latino communities. They're by design. There's like no real food there. It's artificial, it's junk food, it's fast food, there's liquor stores. And so, since that day, that really set, my soul on fire in a good way. And I left the clinic. I quit cold turkey. I became a health coach. I was already a health coach a year before that, but that really was the catalyst for jumping into opening my own wellness business, and so I could get in the business of preventing and reversing these diseases. So I started Augusta Floating Wellness. The hat he's wearing there, and so my vision, because it's still in the works, it's still in the process and growing, is to have a wellness space that is for the community and have different healing modalities there. And I started with the flotation therapy that I do here now. So I've been doing that for 2 years, and then COVID hit, right? And so they tried to shut me down here. They put like this huge, what was the sign? The stop work order sign on my house. It was huge orange sign, and I'm telling you, people would come for an appointment and they saw the sign, and I'm telling you, at least 2 of them drove back out of the driveway and left and didn't even call, nothing, because they probably thought we were quarantined or something. And I was so upset. But around that time then was when I met Lori and Everton and Everton. And when I saw her tower gardens and I saw her and the whole community, and I just fell in love, and I was like, this is what I've been looking for. This is the answer. This is, as a health coach, to find out that the Tower Gardens and the Juice Plus were all in one. And I was like, I can finally, have something to give to people, just an easy way to start. Right? It's not like, oh, you got to change your diet. Oh, you got to work out. No, this is fast. Just add it in and grow some food. And it was love at first sight. And ever since that, and I was in March this year, so
This is our second crops.
Yeah, this is our second harvest we got going on here. And this time I ordered seedlings because that is way easier and faster. Okay. So to wrap it up, and the vision for the Wellness Center is to have a community garden for the community. So I bought 12 of these, but with the outside ones. And they're gonna go outside, and I learned that it's called an amenity farm. So I want to grow foods that are hard to find at the store, and a lot of foods that a lot of people buy, But that way, I can integrate it into the community and share with people the power of food, teach them how to grow their own food. Now I have all these options to give them with the towers and the Juice Plus, and I just want to share that message with people that you can, that need it the most, that you can heal yourself. You can do so much better. You don't have to live this way. You don't have to suffer unnecessarily. Like, there is hope. There's a different way of living. I want to share this happiness and this health with everybody that I meet, and that is what we're doing here. So I've been here in Augusta, not in Augusta, with the Augusta Food and Wellness for 2 years. And so we're expanding, and it's all coming together beautifully. So I think 2020 has really been a blessing in disguise, because it started off a little rocky, but it was just the universe's way of, when I took that leap of faith to leave the clinic and leave that corporate world to do what I love, because I was on a mission, the universe put all the right people and opened all the right doors, like, at the right time. So it's been amazing. It's been super amazing. It's been rough, been a little hard, right? You start to learn that you have to work on yourself, and the more you grow, the more your business grows. So, but I'm embracing all of it, and falling in love with myself and our community all over again, and just for life. Yes. So say something. You can say your part out. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, let me say something, and very inspiring testimony. Number one, your journey has been incredible, and I can see why you are a part of this giving community. Now, I want to know, and the people want to know, my phone is blowing up. Where's the community garden?
The community.
Show the people the gardens.
It's gonna be
We're gonna put it together tomorrow.
I've been
here by myself.
I've been out of state, so I took 10 days off. So I'm gonna start. The plan is.
You got the tower behind you?
No, we got one.
Well, this is one.
Show the tower then. Show us the one, man. What's wrong with y'all, my brother and my sister?
Hold on. Let me disconnect.
Show us some veggies.
Oh, we can roll it.
Drag something.
We can roll the towers.
Oh, we're gonna roll the tower. Ta-da! So here we just replanted a few days ago, and there's 32 spots on this tower. I have 30 of them filled, so there's only 2 open ones. Each one of those.
Those are my spices. The 2 that are missing.
Oh, see. And each one of those is different from the other one. So I don't have like any repeating plants on here, because you really just need one plant of each, at least for us, for inside.
And that tower looks beautiful. Now, what are some of the plants you guys are growing?
Over here, I got lavender. This is some parsley. This is cilantro.
Chamomile.
What is this? Kale, probably.
This is kale, scarlet kale, which is like a red kale. We got a sweet Swiss chard. We got Russian kale, which
Russian
is
kale.
yeah, this is a hardy version, like winter. We want to get like the vegetables you can't find in the store
Okay.
Oh, and variety,
on variety because we've lost what 94% of our seed variety
94% of our seed
on
variety.
this planet.
I wrote a few notes so I could share with you when before we
What's
finish
this?
here about the varieties. Violas. So I got like 2 or 3 flowers on here,
Ooh, what's this?
and then the other ones are like different kinds of kale,
Is this Jacinto?
collard. This is kale Toscano.
Toscano kale. Look at that. I didn't even know they had all these type
I
of
don't
kales.
even know. There's one pepper plant. You need one pepper plant because they
Yeah.
grow a lot like crazy, and 1 tomato. So that's a few of the ones that we got on there.
Troy, you live in the East, right? You told me Maryland.
Yes, sir.
You know about sofrito, right?
Sofrito.
You know about that.
What?
No bueno, no sofrito.
Oh no.
How can you not know about sofrito?
Oh, she know about
Man,
that.
she
How
does.
can you not know about
Hey,
sofrito?
yo, Adrian,
You not
mute
a real
Adrian, mute
Dominican?
Henry, mute
You're
Adrian.
not a real Dominican. You're not a real Boricuan. If you don't know about sofrito, you can't
Hey,
cook without the sofrito.
Hey,
And most
Adrian,
you
I'm gonna-
guys make homemade sofrito.
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna distribute it in town.
That's gonna be, you're gonna cake up because I have brought store-bought sofrito and it's nothing. It's no comparison to when I would, because I grew up in Spanish Harlem. So
Okay, so you know about it.
I of course.
Put me on the shipping list.
We're gonna
Yes.
have like 1 tower for each thing, so
Yeah.
we can sell it to
Wow.
market.
That's gonna be mind-blowing.
Okay, so
You
so
can put,
now-
are y'all gonna be able, well, I know maybe not in the beginning, but will y'all be shipping stuff eventually?
That is the plan.
Awesome. Because Marla's from New York also. She gonna want some, right, Marla?
yeah,
We're gonna want some, absolutely.
well,
It's
the
it's
first
nothing
shipment
better.
comes to Maryland. I don't even want to hear it, Adrian. So
Well,
Marla,
that's all right. I'll wait my turn, but y'all
Hold up.
just make sure y'all get it to Raleigh and New York.
Hold
You
up.
hear?
yes.
Put us
Hold up.
on the shipping list.
Okay, guys, but I gotta pay the bills here. I gotta pay the bills. We on a time limit here. You know,
Okay,
we got Juice Plus TV coming up with a replay at 8 o'clock of Dr. Mitra Ray. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people want to check that out. So, but we're gonna bring y'all back, okay? We're gonna bring y'all back because we gotta show the community garden.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people want to hear what Anthony got to say, but we definitely gonna bring you back. So in the sake of time tonight, we're gonna get Henry Lee up next. So Henry's gonna share his story and inspire people. But if you guys don't know Henry Lee, he is out of Ohio. He went to the Ohio State, Roll Tide, baby. And he's in the healthcare industry at the moment, still touching lives. And welcome to the show, Henry. This is really Henry's show. I just come on and do what I do. But Henry, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Troy. If you're watching the replay here, you can be confident that we will be doing this on a regular basis. Troy, correct me if I'm wrong, 3rd Thursday of every month, correct?
That is correct, sir. 3rd
All
Thursday
right.
every month.
Awesome. Unless you hear otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you because before diving in, I know a lot of you are educators or in some form or fashion involved in education. And one of the things we wanted to do and bring you today is how you can use these in education. So I'm going to go ahead and play a short video. Little thumbs up if you can see my screen. Good. Awesome. Okay. So this guy here is our friend, Dr. Stephen Ritz. And he has a short video he's going to share with us about his work in schools.
Who wants to play? All right. You're it. I'm ready.
My name is Stephen Ritz, and I am CEO, Chief Eternal Optimist of Bronx County. We're gonna actually grow our own lunch. We're going to grow our own food today. We're gonna go from seed to plate.
A towel garden is like this plant, but you don't need soil. And then the water comes up, and then it comes down and rain on the roots.
Adults think you can't farm in the South Bronx. Tell it to these kids. They're farming. For so many, food is the problem. Yet for all of us, food is a solution. We have some of the highest rates of juvenile diabetes and juvenile obesity in the nation. And we can change that. We absolutely have the power to change schools in this generation.
I think I still see the seed.
That happens, exactly.
You mean I can pass it around and they can see the seed
Absolutely.
in the plant?
My job is to teach kids how we can grow food. And I'm asking everyone to roll up their sleeves and get a little dirty and grow something greater.
He lets us plant stuff like salad, cucumbers, tomatoes.
My 4th and 5th graders came into a classroom with no windows to build a tower garden and literally turned it into a farm. And we talked about how healthy food builds healthy minds and healthy bodies, and where are we doing it? Right here in school.
So did everybody plant a seed?
The excitement and the joy that these little kids feel putting a seed in the ground and watching it blossom. OMG, as they say, this is their moment.
I think he cares about us a lot, and he wants us to learn and have fun at the same time.
I'm not a farmer, but I'm planting seeds.
He always says, like, seeds are like people because they need love, and they grow and grow and grow to be successful people.
To use 21st century technology to generate food and to create this beautiful thing to sit by that you can actually eat is game-changing. It's empowering. They're growing. The plants are growing, and they're responsible for it. And when they know they can grow their own, they really start changing the way they see their relationship to the world and their place in it.
That's a big one. You gonna eat it? Is it good? I love it. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go back.
All right, so thank you for all your the teachers and educators out there that are on the front lines working with their kids. I actually used to be a classroom teacher as well until about 2 years ago, so I know exactly what you guys go through on a day-to-day basis. I know it's a little different in the world pandemic today, but so besides what you saw there with the elementary schools, we actually have these present in schools from pre-K all the way through college in any traditional and non-traditional setting that you can think of. And we're always looking for more ideas. So hopefully throughout today, if you can come up with any type of ideas or questions, you can save them till the end and we'll get to a Q&A. So one of the things that we teach in the high school level is this is not something that you need to have a college degree to figure out that this is what our farmland's supposed to look like, all lush and green and everything. And what Anna and Anthony just shared with us, this is basically what we're moving towards. It's a concept in high school that we call desertification, which is the depletion of farmland, and teaching the kids at all levels with pictures like this, they can very easily see that there is a need for a change. However, there hasn't been a change. And if you look at any other industry on the planet, most industries have drastically looked different from 50 years ago. But today, this is what a school district looks like. 50 years ago, this is what a school district looked like. And you might relate to one of these students. Maybe you're the guy who's trying to fall asleep or actually has fallen asleep or disengaged and disconnected. What if your class actually looked like this? And again, Dr. Stephen Ritz in the back here, instead of sitting down and being talked at, what if you could have a classroom that was all interactive, practical, hands-on learning, cross-curriculum, and actually using your hands and feet and knowledge and putting it into action. And at the end of the day, right, you've probably heard this phrase before, that knowledge is not power, but knowledge in action is power. And that's what we're doing in schools these days. And so this is a project-based learning tool that you can use, again, in any imaginable educational setting, from daycares and preschools all the way up through. To give you an idea about how we use it, not only just with sustainability, but also changing your gut microbiome. We use it to teach experimental design. I mean, kids at this age, they use it for texture and taste and color and shapes and all sorts of stuff. Tons of different lessons. I'm going to show you how to access some of those lessons, and you can explore this a little bit, or you can talk to the person who invited you to watch this recording as well. One of the cool things that really caught my eye and allowed me to see the potential of how we could use this in the classrooms was how efficient it is. And some of you may not know this background, but the head horticulturist Tim Blank at Disney World was the one who opened the eyes of the world to these magnificent projects here. So back in 2009, for a couple years, they were in the land exhibit. They still are. So if you go down to Disney World, you can see that they're growing 3 times as fast as they would in regular soil. It is not hydroponic, it is aeroponic. And so what are the benefits of this? I'm going to skip that video here. These are some of the benefits. It grows 3 times as fast, 30% more yield. It uses 2% of the water because all the water is caught in the basin if it doesn't go directly into the roots and pumped right back up to the top. It uses 90% less space. And this is another really big factor, especially in the classroom, year-round growing. Just to give you an idea of cost effectiveness, we had an $11,000 grant to use. 8 of that 11,000 went to raised beds and hoop houses and things outside, which really we only used for about a month and a half of the entire school year, because the growing season is really during the summer. So by the time kids come in, then they learn about these different concepts of growing, sustainability, and photosynthesis and stuff. Then it's too cold to grow outside. And so those beds lay dormant for the most of the school year. And then by the time we're ready to plant those outside and do our observations and take measurements and everything, then the kids are getting out of school by May now. And so instead, what if we could grow indoors? And so we have 3 of these tower gardens in our environmental science and biology classrooms. They don't require any soil, no weeding. There's all the extra stuff that you don't really care about in school projects. You get rid of that. And it's all natural. It's clean, it's safe. You can literally pick right off. The kids take it home and they explore foods that they would not normally be exposed to. And we get emails from parents saying, hey, I was over at the grocery store the other day and my kid asked for kale. I didn't even know he knew what kale was. It's a great email to get from parents. And for teachers that are wondering, how is it cost effective? Because some of my students have asked about getting it in their homes. I'm going to show you a little chart to show how it actually will pay for itself in a year. This is another problem that we run into. How many of you, by show of hands, recognize these tray lunches? Yes, or rather, no, right? So this is what I grew up with your pizza bagel that is covered in cheese and bits of sausage that was recycled from yesterday's breakfast, and a processed, off-the-shelf applesauce that has a shelf life of like 5 years, and a milk, right? That is, don't get me started on dairy, it's so inflammatory. But then, okay, let's do a little bit better, right? Let's go with the pizza and the milk and maybe a little bit of granola in there that has a lot of sugar. And let's be honest, this little cup of iceberg lettuce, who eats that? Everyone throws that away, right? So what if our lunches looked like this? And so a lot of schools, what they're doing is, and again, this has been modified because of the whole pandemic, but studies show that you are what you eat. You can actually take the nutrients that you put in your mouth and measure that in your skin. You can measure the antioxidants that are present, that are built into your tissues. And so instead of feeding them all this processed stuff, what if you could take the fresh produce that's not even local, but even better, tower to table, and put it on our kids' plates? And some people might be wondering, okay, so what do you grow on yours? And I know we heard a little bit about what Anthony and Anna are doing with their gardens. These are just a smattering, just a sample of the possibilities. You can't see the right because there's some faces that are covering up here. Then you can sort of drag the faces or drag your screen over so you can see some of those too. I'm going to show you another one here. And so you can see there's a salad garden. There are you can grow all sorts of different fruits like eggplants and cucumbers and watermelons. And I saw that we have Lori Weeks on here. You should see her gardens. She's got a couple in the back that are always so impressive. I just about cry whenever I see hers because I hope to be like Lori one day. Another issue that the world is facing that this solves, canned foods, right? So if we're looking at shelters or food pantries, instead of shelves upon shelves of processed tons of sodium and longer shelf lives, well, what if we were to get rid of that by just simply installing fresh food that is readily available all year round? The research shows, performed by Ohio State University and Cornell University, that kids that grow their own food are 5 times more likely to eat it than if they just bought it or if it's put in front of them. So this is the power of it, but it doesn't just stop there, because that's what happens in the classroom. What happens when they go home? This is what happens when they go home. There's good and bad bacteria in your gut. And I'll be talking about this a little bit more on Saturday at 2 o'clock. We'll send the invite here in the chat so you can see how to log on. But we'll be talking about gut health. And if you feed the good guys, the good bacteria feeds off of fresh, raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables. And that's what we're looking at. And if you haven't heard about the Juice Plus piece of it, definitely look into that too. Ask the person who invited you to watch this video or to this call, because that's what we're feeding, the good bacteria, which is where most of your immune system starts. That's where you start getting all of your cardiovascular health baseline for that in the gut. So not only you are what you eat, but you crave. And so you continue eating fresh food, then you will continue craving more and more fresh food. And so we are affecting kids not only in the classroom, but for generations and generations and generations to come. I told you before that I was going to take a look at the 6-month analysis of how you can save money using these, because not only are we teaching these kids science concepts, but also business concepts, because we want them to save money, right? And so you can see on the left-hand side, these are prices of conventional, not even organic, in the store. And you can see in a tower garden, or the 6-month yield, this is how much money that would be worth if you were to grow these produce in a tower garden versus buying it in the store. And if you can see down at the bottom here, it's pretty much paid for itself in a 6-month harvest. There are 2 models. And so you might be wondering, well, I'm not sure if I have enough room in my classroom. The Flex on the right was the original. And so most classrooms that we have like to get the Flex because you can put it outside, you can put it inside, you can put a dolly and roll it all over the place. You can put extensions, tomato cages, all sorts of bells and whistles. But some decide to go with the Tower Garden Home, which has built-in dollies, or wheels down at the bottom, and a water monitor. So you can roll that from classroom to classroom too. It just doesn't have all the adjustable bells and whistles that the Flex does. But it does use the same light fixtures, and that Tower Garden Home system is a smaller water basin. So instead of 3 feet wide, it's 2 feet wide. It's designed, both of these are designed like that so they can fit through a standard doorway. So this is what the Tower Garden looks like when it arrives to your classroom. This is what it looks like after it grows 3 to 4 weeks. And it comes with all the seedlings, all the grow kits. You can see on the right here, the proprietary solutions that have all the nutrients that you put into the water with the little measuring cup there. And then any type of pH adjusters, just in case you're using water that's too alkaline or too acidic. This is a family garden, also known as in the science classroom, a science bundle. And you can get a little discount if you bundle that together. They throw in a couple of tomato cages and things like that. So this is the package that my classroom ended up getting with that grant. And if you go bigger, then you end up going with something called a community garden or even a tower farm. And that's what you heard Anna and Anthony talking about. So this is what your farm is going to look like downstairs, right? So the question up on the top here, who do you know who would benefit from having something like this? And I'm going to stop my screen share here and go to the next page, because I really enjoy showing people where these are found. That Tower Garden farm, a lot of people think, oh, well, there's probably just one or two of those. This map shows you a ton of Tower Garden farms that are found across the US, and they're not just isolated. You can find them in Spain, you can find them over here in Hawaii and Alaska, up in Canada. And so if you click on any of these here, like I'll just click on a random here. Oh, hey, this is O'Hare International. So if you ever fly through O'Hare in Chicago, in Terminal 2, there are 26 Tower Gardens. In fact, I have a picture of that right here. So on the right, this guy right here is Tim Blank. That's the inventor of Tower Gardens. And there's 26 two-story Tower Gardens that are used amongst the 67 restaurants in the airport. So next time you go there, if you eat at Max and Irma's or TGI Fridays, then and get a salad, then the produce actually came off of this. Maybe not all of it, but some of it came off of the Tower Gardens. And you can see on a large scale, these are different farms and different school districts and stuff like that. So I have a picture of my little niece down here at the bottom. I always like to brag about my little niece because I'm actually going to see her next Wednesday. So some of you that attend the Hicks Sisters Saturday night calls, you might be able to see her here coming up on the next one. So that's my baby niece, Samantha. She helps us water it. In the classroom, our special ed department helps to measure the pH, helps to fill up the water basin. Our environmental science classroom helps to harvest. Our biology classroom, or biology students design the experiments. Our business classes keep track of inventory and sell all the extra produce to teachers. And then our global gourmet and foods and fitness classes take the produce and actually use it on their dishes that we teach them in school. So just some great ideas that I've taken from different pictures and pictures that you guys have sent me. And the possibilities are limitless. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. There we go. All right, so we're back. Troy, I know that you wanted to leave some time for Q&A at the end here. So I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Can you hear me, Henry? Can y'all hear me? All right, all right. Well, Henry, I mean, you cease to amaze me, man. I mean, Henry Lee, he's the company Tower Gardenologist. You know, he's just so informative, and I learn something new every time I hear him speak. That's why even when he's not on this event, I try to chime in so I can learn something. But again, this community is so inspiring. You heard Henry mention Lori Weeks. Lori was on the Grow Your Mind, I believe last month. And again, she has the Enchanted Forest. She gives out tours with the Georgia State Tourism Department. That's how extensive her community garden is. It's just amazing. And Laura, you coming back, you know, I don't know about soon, okay? So just tell Everton that you guys are getting on this and showing that community garden again. And you heard him mention Adrienne Hicks, the Hicks sisters, world famous, Juice Plus TV. I think they got something coming up with Barack and Michelle Obama in February, just doing big things. But they do a Tower Garden show every Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And they have several guests, Henry, Lori, and many, many others showing you the power of the tower. Just incredible. But we're going to open it up now. If anyone has any questions, please unmute yourself and ask anyone you want to ask a question.
Looks like there's-
Troy, oh, go ahead, Henry. Are you going to talk about the one in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, recording for this call. So Troy is going to upload this and send the URL on YouTube to the person who invited you to watch today. And so we'll make sure that we get that to you. Just get in touch with that Tower Garden person that invited you.
Yes, it's $20 for partners, free for guests. I'm just kidding. It's free. It's free. It's free.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say I'm just so grateful y'all are starting this call. And we're gonna participate in this call all the time. And for those, this Saturday, of course, Lori is a part of the call on Saturday, and Marla is always working behind the screen. So without her, the call would never run as smooth as it does. She's always behind the screen, behind the scene. And Henry is gonna be one of our speakers as well as Lori. So come out and support. And of course, invite your people in your team. Every time we get on a call and we bring guests to any call or team is gonna help you specifically grow as well as your team. So we're just looking forward to seeing you Saturday, and thank you so much for inviting and extending this call out to us.
Well,
And to the dynamic duo, boy, oh boy. And now y'all throwing sofrito in the mix? Okay.
Speaking of sofrito, I had to text one of my old friends up in the Bronx, and I did have sofrito back in the day. I just didn't know what it was. You know, come on. I was like 12 or 13. Please, come on. I'm just eating. I'm just eating.
Sofrito is a seasoning that you cook with.
And you saute it.
Homemade, if you're lucky enough and blessed enough, it's a seasoning that it goes right along with adobo.
Yes, I know adobo. I know adobo quite well. Filipino. But yes. But I'm first in line for the sofrito, Anthony and Anna. Don't forget that. Henry mentioned Saturday. He's going to be the guest featured speaker on the Health Exchange Saturday at 2 p.m. Friday, tomorrow, we have Mother Nurture, 3 phenomenal, amazing queentrepreneurs that are going to be telling their story, and it's featuring Michelle Fletcher and also Denise Fidalia and Marjorie Townsend. So we definitely want to show them some love. Invite the women in your circle, the church, invite them, because this is going to be inspiring, as Mother Nurture always is. But any other questions? Any other questions?
I have a comment.
We take comments too.
So I just want to add in there too that we mentioned these are not just for a traditional school. Today I was over at a Alzheimer's and dementia place here in the Columbus, Ohio, and they are growing all their food, not all their food, but a good portion of their food on Tower Gardens, so they can combat the effects of Alzheimer's and dementia. And they've been able to see all sorts of great results with people just coming alive when you feed them what God designed their cells to actually thrive on. So that's another example. There's we have them in Boys and Girls clubs. We have them in Ronald McDonald houses, hospitals, fire departments. And so again, the possibilities are limitless. And when it comes down to it, it's all about education and empowering people to live longer and feel great.
Hey, Henry, thank you. See, you continue to inspire, because you just reminded me I need to mention a couple people. the greater Washington, DC, and I'm not sure if anyone's on. If you're on, please just let me know so I can just say how proud of you I am. But we have 14 local boys and girls clubs in the DC area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, that are going to be getting, some have already gotten their tower gardens, but they're going to be blessing the kids in those local communities. And I want to shout out Danica Wicker, who's the Director of Operations and the President and CEO, Ms. Gabriella Webster, for the tremendous insight and foresight you guys have had to make this program available to the local kids. So I commend you, I salute you. The other one is Mr. Virgil Walker. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He's the Director of Health and Wellness for the local Prince George's County Fire Department. So Virgil, I know you guys are gonna implement these tower gardens into all the fire stations, and you guys are gonna be healthy so you can continue to save lives and save the kittens and all the good things you do in the community. So thank you for all that you guys do, all the first responders out there with the fire department. So that being said, I think we're ready to wrap it up, and everyone, it's unmute yourselves and let's thank Henry, thank Anna and Anthony. I thank you both. And again, we're going to get you back here so we can talk about the community garden. Lori Weeks, Adrian and Sharon, don't worry, you're going to be on here too. Don't think, no. You coming on, blow your mind, okay?
We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome, sofrito.